Hello everyone, welcome to the next video on power systems. In this video we are going to discuss the small questions and answers about the symmetrical fault analysis. At the end of this session, the learner will be able to apply the concept of symmetrical fault analysis to solve the short questions and answers. I am Ganesh from KK Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nashik. Welcomes you in this video. So this is the part 1 video. The next two parts will be launched soon. That fault which gives the rise to the equal fault currents. Okay, so the fault which gives the equal rise to the fault current means the fault current in each phase is the same, and that is happening in the under the symmetrical case only. Okay, so that is equal to the fault current, so that is happening in the symmetrical, so it is known as a symmetrical fault. That fault gives the unequal fault current, so unequal fault current only rise in the unsymmetrical fault condition, that is in LG, LL and LLG fault. Okay, the which fault is the most severe? Okay, so if there is a generator is feeding through a load through a long transmission line, and if the fault is taken far away from the generator, then triple L fault is the most severe fault. If the fault is near to the generator, then the LG fault is the most severe. So here it is far end, it is asked, so it is a triple L fault. Okay, so triple L fault is the most severe, which is not the location of current limiting reactor. The generator reactor, feeder reactor, busbar reactor. So these all are the location of the generator, but breaker reactor is not the location of the current limiting reactor. When all the three phases are shorted together, it causes the symmetrical fault. The use of current limiting reactor, we know that if the current limiting reactor is inserted in between with the fault, so your fault impedance is get increases, hence the fault current get reduces, so so that the breaker rating is also become lower. The short circuit kVA is obtained by dividing the base kVA by, okay, so if you want to calculate the kVA short circuit, so it should be kVA base upon the fault impedance or fault reactance. You can take this as impedance or reactance. If the resistance is neglected, only the reactance, so it is the per unit reactance. The short circuit current is given by the short circuit current. We know that how to calculate the short circuit current. It is E at an angle of 0 divided by ZF. If the resistance is neglected, ZF is equal to nothing but the XF. So generally the pre-fault voltage is considered as 1 at an angle of 0, so it is a 1 upon XF. So the correct formula is the formula number A. Which reactance have the greater value? Okay, so in the when the alternator is shorted at its terminal, it gives rise to the symmetrical fault current, and it causes the subtransient period, transient period and the steady state period. So your transient reactance is smaller than subtransient reactance is smaller than the transient, and transient reactance is smaller than the steady state. So this D indicate direct axis, this dash indicate the transient, this is steady state, and this is what subtransient. So which one is the lesser? Subtransient reactance is the lesser. Which which is the greater? It is asked that the greater, so steady state reactance is greater. Which is having the smaller value? Subtransient reactance is having smaller value. Which fault is less? So we know that the fault current is nothing but 1 divided by XD when the alternator is shorted at its terminal. Okay, so but the value of XD double dash is less than XD dash is less than XD. So if we relate the fault current under transient cases, if we relate the fault current under the subtransient transient cases, obviously the opposition is less here, hence this is greater, this is greater. So which current is greater, which current is smaller? It is steady state fault current is smaller, and which current is a greater value? Subtransient current is the greater value. if the fault is near to the generator, fault current is okay. So if the fault is very near to the generator, hence the opposition is only due to the generator reactance. Opposition is only due to the generator reactance. So the impedance up to fault reactance is only Xg. Hence your fault current will be the greater. Okay, so it is a larger. If it is a far away from the generator, then external reactance will be come into the picture. Hence your ZF is equal to generator reactance plus external reactance. Hence overall impedance is get increased, hence the fault current gets decreased. So it is a fault current is small. For the selection of circuit breaker, dash dash is considered. For the selection of circuit breaker, maximum momentary short circuit current is considered, which is given by 2 into root 2 of V upon Z. Okay, so by the impedance, so this can calculate it. Dash dash is used to the short circuit current to the safe value. Current limiting reactor is used to the limit the short circuit current to the safe value. Okay. The portion of the power system, which portion of the power system fault occurrence is more? So in case of transmission line, the fault it is observed that 85% of faults are taken place in the transmission system. If the percentage reactance up to the fault point is increased, okay, so if your percentage reactance is get increased up to the fault point, so ZF is increased by the 10%. So we know that IF is equal to 1 upon ZF. IF is equal to 1 upon ZF. If the impedance is increased by 10%, your fault current is also decreased by 10%. Okay. If the fault reactance is decreased by 10%, then it is increased by fault current will increase by the 10%. Which one is the true? Earlier in the earlier section I have explained this. XD double dash is smaller than XD than the XD. So how it is actually calculated? And similarly here, this current we have concluded that subtransient current is more than the transient and then the steady state. So this is the correct. But actually how it is calculated? Your short circuit reactance, direct axis subtransient reactance is nothing but the parallel combination of damper winding, field winding and armature winding. So if you want to calculate the subtransient reactance, it is a leakage reactance plus 1 upon a damper winding plus 1 upon field winding plus 1 upon armature winding. So this option is correct. In the transient state, the current through the damper winding die out, hence it act like open circuited. Hence in opposition there is only XF and XA and XL. So under the transient case, leakage reactance is in series with the parallel combination of XF and XA. And under the steady state case, leakage reactance is in series with the armature, because the current through the field winding is get die out at that case. So steady state is XL plus XA. So in this case this is the option and this is the option. Okay, so hope you got this all answers. With this we are at the end of the first video. I'm going to post the part B also. Please watch the part B, subscribe my channel and like if you like it, press the like button. Also give the comments if you have any query. Thank you.